I am not taking personal readings at this time. Please do not get scammed by people posing as me in the comments section. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. So today's pick a card. We're going to be looking into your January 2022 energetic forecast. So this month's reading is different because normally I like to look into the blessings for the month that are on their way to us. But because we are in the season of Capricorn and I am an overly saturated Capricorn Saturn person, the messages that came through had a different tone and direction, and I wanted to honor that. Now, Capricorn energy can be brutal, and this Capricorn season we moved into with a Venus retrograde. Mercury's preparing to go retrograde. Challenges for the month sort of kept creeping into the reading. So there's definitely a different vibe this month at the start of 2022 with these readings, these monthly readings here. I also set up the readings to reflect an astrological horoscope because when I read for myself, I usually read in this style with this type of spread. And I've been doing this for years now and I love it. So there will be cards that stand to represent your AC, IC, DC, and MC, and I'll be divining your energetic forecast that way. I explain it more thoroughly in the pile so it's not too confusing, but anyways, let's just get to the disclaimers. Obviously, this is a general reading, so it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not control or dictate your life. If you hear something that you do not like and think you're just doomed to that reality, you are not using my readings correctly. My readings are for confirmation and not answers. So realize that at the end of the day, what happens to you and in your life is the result of your free will, your actions, choices, and decisions, not a pick a card reading on YouTube. So please be responsible, be accountable, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages that your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. As far as the meditation, this is a general reading again. So in order for this reading to resonate with you, you have to be synced into the energy of this reading. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye and not your physical ones, I'm going to be offering a 60-second meditation. Halfway through that, I will be placing crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. And after the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile, and you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you are drawn to another pile, that's because there is another message for you in that pile. If you're ready, get into a relaxed position. Become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet, and work that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 3 seconds and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self so you can receive the messages that you need to receive for this month of January 2022. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. On pile 1 is Mukai Jasper. On pile 2 is Angel Aura Quartz. On pile 3 is Desert Rose Selenite. On pile 4 is Onyx. and pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with your tarot cards, and then I'm going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera to see what your January 2022 has in store for you. So the setup here is set up like an astrological chart, or like your natal chart, how you have a ascendant AC, a IC, and Mumkoli, a DC descendant, and a MC midheaven. And so basically each of these things means something different in an astrological chart. The chart moves like this. So this is why you have your ascendant rising sign starting over here on the left side of a chart. And this just shows the constellation that was rising in the east at the moment that you were born. And so things sort of like move in this direction, and that's pretty much how I'm going to be reading your energy for the month of January, starting off this year 2022. So yeah, I'll explain each card as we get to it, but let's just actually get to it. So the very first card that we have here is representing your ascendant, and we have here the 3 of coins, otherwise known as the 3 of pentacles. I think I'm going to flip all of them over, so let's do that. The next card that we have is your IC down here, and we have the Conqueror of Coins, otherwise known as the Knight of Pentacles. Over here we have your Descendant. And basically the Descendant is all about what is pretty much challenging or opposing you, since it opposes your Ascendant energy. And we have for you the Ace of Wands in reverse. And as far as your MC, your midheaven, the highest point in your chart. This is basically what we aspire for. And what we have here for you is the 5 of Coins, otherwise known as the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting setup for energy. Pile 1. 111, repeating ones, 1111 may be very significant for you as well in January. Okay, so starting off with your ascendant energy over here, pile 1. With the 3 of Pentacles right here, what I'm saying is that you need assistance somewhere, maybe even guidance. Someone that's not so closely attached to your goals, but has a level of expertise. They know what they're doing, but they're just not as close to the project or to the job or to the result. You know, they're not as attached to it. You kind of need that in the month of January, just somebody that can sort of help you escape your own perspective, someone that's sort of like on the outside looking in. You're a little too close to something this month, and you're not able to see past what you want or past your own perception. You're not able to see past the job, past the project, past the desire. You know, like there's something that you're working for, or you're working towards it, and you're so determined and you're so into it that you're almost unable to see certain solutions because you're so in it. Now, this is you feeling like it would be beneficial to enlist some sort of help in the month of January. Someone or somewhere with like work, it seems like possibly, because this is a 3 of Pentacles, so this could have to do with your work, or just in the sense that you get help elsewhere so you can focus on more work maybe. But you're aware this month that you cannot do it all on your own as much as you would like to. And it's probably frustrating at first because you like to do things on your own. You may like working alone, but somewhere you get a little stumped and you're like, okay, I need reinforcements. And the moment that you do that or ask for help or bring in help, boom, a solution falls out of the sky. But working alongside someone else is not going to be as bad as you're thinking it will. You actually will end up enjoying it and learning a lot with this 3 of Pentacles being upright right here. You just need someone that's on the outside looking in because you're too deep to see the solution to something. So let's see, let's get an oracle card for your ascendant energy. But that's going to be your rising energy this month, is this Three of Pentacles. So something about your energy is going to give off needing assistance, needing help, needing somebody on the outside looking in that can offer some sort of advice, guidance, something like that. Okay, let's see. We have here for you, 2 cards flipped over. We have here for you, think it through. New moon in Gemini, and then new moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. Yeah, so thinking it through, like I said, this is you almost overthinking a little bit. When it comes to your ascendant 3 of coins energy right here, this is almost you overthinking a little bit because you're so enveloped in something and in the production of something or the creation of something, or you're just really into the job. You're really in it feels like job. It feels like a job. It feels like work. It feels like a project, something that you're working on that you're just really, really focused on in the month of January. But with this new moon in Gemini, you may be thinking it through a little too much to the point where you're overthinking. And it could cause like a little bit of stress, which is why it's going to help a lot to enlist some sort of help from outside of whatever it is that you're working on. Because it may just be a bit overwhelming for you to try to figure everything out on your own. Or this could be you, like I said, getting help in another area of your life. Like, let's say, for example, like you have kids or something, and let's say like you've been trying to hold off getting a day sitter, but it's like work really picks up for you in January and you need that extra help. So you kind of do something that you didn't really want to do before. Maybe you tried to avoid doing it for as long as you could. And it's like the month of January is just going to apply pressure in the right places where you're willing to ask for help. Then we have trust all will be well. New moon in Virgo. So everything's going to be fine with this. Like I said, you're actually going to end up really enjoying the fact or really liking the fact that you have this other help. Right now, you're just anticipating the thought or the fact that like, I'm not going to like this. You're thinking that you're not going to like it. You're thinking that you don't want it. But once you enlist this help and it comes in, that support is going to help you out so much, and you're going to be able to get a lot more done. You're going to be able to be a lot more effective, and you're going to realize like, why did I wait so long to do this? Like, I should have done this sooner. Okay, let's move on here to your IC. Now, the Imum Coli is the lowest part of the chart, the IC right here. So this is basically hidden, unaware energy that's being produced underneath the surface. The IC rules the 4th house or the 4th house cusp. And basically, this is the lowest part of your chart. So this is the subconscious. This area is ruled by Cancer and the moon. So this is all about our subconscious, our instincts, our emotional self, our intuition. This is everything that goes on underneath the surface that we're not always aware of unless we're really tapped into those more subtle layers of consciousness. But it's interesting because you've got the Knight of Pentacles right here, and this is why you're thinking that it's going to be horrible to work with other people or to involve others in a problem that you are trying to fix, because of this Knight of Pentacles energy that says, I can get this done on my own. It's just going to take a long ass time, but it's not like you're stuck. You're getting somewhere, but it's just one step at a time. But this Knight of Pentacles energy sitting in the spot of your IC is determined to get the job done on its own. This is also you feeling like you know the problem better than anyone else, so you're the only one in possession of a solution, but that's not true. There's others around you that would and will be helpful, pile one, and this is going to come from such an unlikely source. Like, you're going to think like, they don't know what I'm doing. How could they help? So, okay, example would be like, weird example, but let's just say that like you've been like podcasting the last 3 years, right? But something goes wrong with a piece of equipment, and your sister, who has never filmed a podcast in her life, figures out how to get the equipment to work in like literally 5 minutes because she's good with computers. It's like you wouldn't have thought to call her because she doesn't know about podcasting or mics, but she knows computer software. I don't know, just an example. But this is like help that comes in that it would have never been your first thought to call this person and ask them for help. So Knight of Pentacles is also saying like some of you are waiting for some other help to come in. You may be waiting for yourself to figure it out as well with this think it through right here, new moon in Gemini. And it's interesting because Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury, which is a very heady sort of, Mercury is the god of the mind. So this is a planet, an energy that moves very quickly and is always sort of like producing thoughts and ideas and trying to figure. It's very, very analytical. It's almost like a computer, Mercury is. And so with you having this really Mercury dominated ascendant rising sort of energy for the month of January, this means you're a little too much in your head. And so down here, with your IC, with the Knight of Pentacles being down here, it's like you may be thinking yourself like, I can figure this out. And it's frustrating because it's like you're taking a very long time to come up with the solution with this Knight of Pentacles right here. Or you could be waiting for someone else that is skilled in this area that you may be having some issues in to come forward, but they never show up because they are moving too slow, or it's not at the top of their priority, you know, like, or maybe something falls through and happens with them and they can't show up for you in the way that you were hoping they would show up. Or like, let's just going back to that example, maybe you expected one of your best friends that like they've been doing podcasts the last, couple years too, and maybe they know your issue very well, but because they have, things going on their side or on their end or in their life where they're a little bit busy, they can't come through as quickly for you with the solution or to help you out. And so it sort of leads you into this other avenue of help that you would have never thought could actually provide a solution for you. And this is in your IC. So this is someone that you were expecting to show up behind closed doors. Like you're sure that they're going to come through, but they don't. And it's like they eventually do, but not when you need them. So this is slow moving energy. And it's like, this is slow moving energy. So you stop depending on this other person or this other avenue, and you learn to expand the list of people that you can call in for help. So there's a certain way that you're used to doing things that January will really force you to change that. And if you don't fight it, it'll go a lot smoother than you anticipated. Let's see, the card that came out here is Practice Gratitude, last quarter moon in Sagittarius. Actually, what I'm seeing here is you having like gratitude in a very unlikely place. Where you're just like, wow, I'm really glad that I did have this other person that came in for help. It's like you're going to end up seeing that like this other person that you reach out to or this other source of help that you pull from is much better than your idea of who you thought could help or who you thought would help. So what I'm seeing here is actually gratitude that you reached out and you took a different avenue. That's what I'm saying with that. I wasn't even trying to pull another one of these cards though. Speak your world into being underneath the deck. Let me see. Let me pull this one over here, just for your IC. Just remember to stay open. Remember the fact that help may come from somewhere or someone else entirely. We also have here purpose. I know what I'm here to do. Yeah, that's that Knight of Pentacles energy that's like, I know I can figure this out, but it's moving so slow. And with this sitting at your subconscious, it may be causing a little bit of frustration for you because you're just like, I need to figure something out quick. Like your Mercury energy wants to move fast, but this Knight of Pentacles energy down here at the energy of your IC is frustrating because it's like there's other things causing you to move a little bit slower. This could also be alluding to the fact too that your energy levels may sort of like they may sort of like decline or like pivot a little bit in January if you're not getting enough rest. When we have this much Mercury energy sort of leading us, we can feel almost like this false sense of energy because Mercury, it produces so quickly. So we can feel like we have a lot of energy, but in reality, we need rest and we need time to rest our mind and to sort of shut off that thinking, so it can be really, really important to do that. Underneath the deck here, we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So this is all about you as well, or also about you using your intuition to sort of figure things out too. So we have here Ace of Wands in reverse for your DC, and the descendant is what is challenging or opposing you. And it's like what you feel like you're lacking or may have to work harder for this month that's not in your possession. This is like valuable things that we feel as though we have not inherited when we're dealing with the DC or the descendant. And so these are usually aspects and traits that we find in others that we wish we had when we deal with the descendant. So in January, pile 1, with this Ace of Wands in reverse showing up for your descendant, you may feel like you are lacking the creative ability or originality in some sort of project. So this is like slight comparison energy a little bit, but what you are comparing yourself to may be past projects or things that you have produced where you felt more confident in those past projects than your current one. You may feel like it's other people's time right now, or like the grass is greener on the other side in terms of having that spark or like that it factor. You may feel as well like you are lacking energy and excitement and enthusiasm, and it's all because you are too in your head, too much Mercury energy. Most of your cards here that we have are pentacles. We've got the 3 of coins, the Conqueror of coins, and the 5 of coins. So most of your energy here is earth energy. And 3 out of your 4 cards being pentacles talks about order, doing things in a certain way and not breaking from that tradition. You fighting this change, you fighting to save this tradition of being able to depend on yourself, being able to resort to yourself for solutions and answers is what can kind of get frustrating and get in your way if you're not careful. You fighting this change leads to feeling like you are not in possession of your own wand energy in January. So it's really important to remember this month that that is an illusion. You were so excited to start some new avenue or to start going after some new goal, and you're being super hard on yourself because these plans are not going as perfect as you'd imagine. But that's what happens when we enlist help from the universe by saying, I have this goal or I have this dream that I want to bring to fruition. The universe says, okay, perfect. Tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. Pile 1, you're stuck to this idea that you formulated on how things are supposed to happen, but that is not your responsibility. So you may have a lot of like earth energy or a lot of fixed energy in your chart, which would be Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. And earth energy signs would be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. But yeah, you may have a lot of earth or fixed energy in your chart. So change has this kind of long adjustment phase to it for you where it takes time to get into the swing of change. And I should know I've got so much earth energy. I've got quite a bit of fixed energy as well. I've got a lot of like cardinal and fixed energy. Hardly have any mutable energy in my chart, but I get it. I know how difficult change can be because of all that earth fixed energy that I have. Change can seem like the devil sometimes to a fixed energy person or an earth energy person. Depends though, because Virgo's earth energy, but it's mutable, so it has a lot easier of a time adapting. But that fixed energy, that earth energy can really be stubborn in terms of wanting to do things in a certain way or wanting to do things by the book. And, you know, there's a certain process to it. There's a certain order or hierarchy to it that earth energy loves to stick with. You could have like a lot of earth or fixed energy in your chart. And if that's the case, then it's going to make sense that there's going to be this phase or this period that you take to adjust to this new sort of change, or opening up to this new change. But try to refrain from telling yourself that you are doing things. Try to refrain from telling yourself that you're doing things wrong or that everything is going wrong, because it's actually a sign that change that you asked for is aligning beautifully according to the universe's plan and spirit. You know, because spirit does not make mistakes. So things are going to plan when we are asked to change. Let's see what we have here. Look at this. We've got destiny. Trigger statement, I am lost. True statement, I do what I love. There is a path waiting just for you. Open your heart and mind so you can use it on your journey of fulfillment. Exactly. This is the path that's waiting for you, is like a more fulfilled sort of path. You just have to open yourself up to it. And then we also have here, Sue, the trigger statement, I need to fix this. Exactly. This is that Knight of Pentacles energy working on autopilot in your subconscious. It's like, I need to do this. I need to figure it out. But it says here, true statement, I'm willing to learn from this. Lift yourself above your life situation and observe as a witness. Understand that you are so much more than the story, and understand that you're so much more than just a problem solver. You're so much more than just a crisis management type person. You know, it's like, it's okay to enlist this help. It's perfectly fine. And then we have here the Five of Pentacles sitting at your midheaven. And the MC is what your ultimate goal or desire is for in your chart. So this would be for your month with what your ultimate goal or desire is. What would make you look back on January and say like this was a successful month? The MC can also represent our wildest dreams. You know, this energy is working with you and it's very, very possible, but this is like your ultimate potential for the month. In your natal chart, the MC, sometimes we never see that come to fruition because it's such a high point of the chart. It rules the part of the chart, the 10th house, which is traditionally ruled by Capricorn. And this area of your chart is referred to as Regnum, which means kingdoms. So this is all about you building your personal kingdom, something we talked about on Patreon. With Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, we talked about this like a month ago. Her going retrograde in this energy is all about us not giving up on the kingdom that we've been wanting to build, the kingdom that we have been aspiring to build for so long, but maybe we just keep sort of getting hit with these random surprises and things that knock us down, but we keep getting back up. And so Venus is there to keep encouraging us. And you have the Five of Pentacles in this area for your energy for the month of January. I love this for you because your ultimate goal for the month is independence. You are sick of being dependent or codependent on something or someone else. And it could be this Knight of Pentacles. I see person or energy down here as well that didn't show up for you when you needed them to. Now listen, don't hurt yourself trying to be too independent, pile one. It is okay to need people, to ask for help, to receive support. It is also okay to make mistakes. The month of January, you are so determined to get something done on your own terms or to do it on your own, solo mode. But that's not the universe's plan for you this month. Five of Pentacles talks about many of you transitioning from working for others to working for yourself, or working with others to working by yourself. You are calling in independence, and it's funny how the universe says, okay, coming right up, but in order for you to fully claim your independence, you have to learn that dependence is not the enemy. In order to lead, we have to learn to follow first, right? There's a weird paradox here like that for the month of January for you. We also have Mercury going retrograde the 14th of January, and as we spoke about on Patreon already, and I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat it, but this year's Mercury retrograde will be a lot more challenging than last year's, because every time Mercury goes retrograde in 2022, it'll start in an air sign but end up in an earth sign, which makes us feel like we have severely lost our bearings. This Mercury retrograde for my pile ones will feel like you are being led in the opposite direction of where you're trying to go, but it's not. It is leading you down a shortcut, actually. It's taking you from this slow as fuck Knight of Pentacles energy to the Three of Pentacles instant relief sort of situation, but you have to surrender to the detour, pile one. You have to be open to it. Let's see, let's get another one of these cards for this. Hold on, let me make sure both of these are yours. Wow. Okay, so this also flipped over for you. New moon in Cancer, relax. Yeah, just relax. New moon in Leo, shine. Then we also have last quarter moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself even if you have to ask for help, pile one. Be proud of yourself even if you have to ask for help. New moon in Leo shine is also saying that you're not going to lose your shine just because you have to enlist help, just because you have to ask for support, just because you have to reach out and pull someone else into a project or pull someone else into your life. There may be a little bit of a fear here of like, I'm not responsible for my success if I ask for help, but that is not the case. New moon in Cancer, relax, pile one. Relax. It's all going to work out. And you do have every reason to be proud of yourself, even with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, underneath the deck here, we have New Moon in Sagittarius. Focus on the positive. Yeah, just focus on the positive. And that's kind of your thing for the month. Let's see. Let's get one final oracle card here for you. Okay. So we have here, there was 3 cards, but at the top, it says, yeah, I surrender. See? I'm going to read this out of the book. We also had here, I am beautiful and I am divinely guided. You guys are divinely guided. You just have to believe that. Even asking for help, you even being led to ask for help is you being divinely guided. Just listen to that. Your intuition is going to sound a little it may sound a little strange in the month of January. It may sound a little bit strange. You may think that, like, that's not my intuition because it's leading you to do something, or it's advising you to do something that maybe you don't want to do or that you wouldn't normally do, but it's not it's not working against you. And then underneath the deck here we have I embrace change. See? I'm going to also read this out of the book for you as well. So give me a second. Okay, with the I surrender card right here, it says, have you ever been so overwhelmed trying to make something happen, and no matter how hard you try, something always seems to get in the way? Yeah, this is what we were talking about your whole reading. It says, there are times that things are beyond our control, or we are not meant to take action. Oh, that may also be it too. Some of you guys are just not supposed to take action. Like I said, this is a little too much Mercury energy that you're in, that your rising energy is in for the month of January. So this could also be about you guys not even trying, you guys not even showing up for a certain problem during the month because it's not meant for you to fix it. It could be meant for someone else to fix it for whatever reason, but this is just the divine at work. Sometimes we don't always understand what God is doing and why it's doing things the way that it's doing. It's very mysterious, right? But it says, yeah, there are times that things are beyond our control, or we are not meant to take action. Everything is about ebb and flow, and we have to learn to acknowledge the time and simply surrender. Tune into what the universe wants you to do. Surrender, have fun, do something adventurous, and let life be your inspiration or spark. When you surrender to life's plan, it brings you the people and opportunities necessary to proceed to take the next step. Take a break, allow your mind to be still, go for a walk, take a quiet bath or shower, meditate or swim, journal and write down your thoughts. It can take an hour to get clarity, or it can take days, weeks, or even more. Trust that when you are meant to take action, that spark of clarity will reveal itself to you. Yeah, this is not about forcing the solution pile in January. It says here journal prompts. So if you guys like to journal, here's some prompts that this card recommends. What have you spent a lot of time and effort towards and it still hasn't worked out? When has surrendering worked for you? How can you tap into that power now? How can you surrender when you don't know what happens next? And then the description here, it says, a woman is floating in water. She has reached a point where she can no longer force things to happen, no matter how hard she tries, so she finally surrendered. She has distanced herself away from what is not working and is simply waiting for the green light from the universe. Yes, wait for that green light, because you're waiting for you to be your own green light, but this Knight of Pentacles energy is warning against that. Like, don't wait for you. You bringing a solution is going to take too long. And it's going to take way too much effort. The Knight of Pentacles is like walking through water or like sand. Like, he is slow moving AF. And there's a reason for that. Not every knight can be the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Sometimes you need those slower moving knights, like the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, because there is a divine reason for that. Sometimes the Knight of Pentacles comes in so to slow things down, so a Knight of Swords or a Knight of Wands energy or person can show up and quickly handle things for us, and then maybe even teach us a few things. So yeah, the key words for this card is surrender, let go, rest, trust, stillness, relax, and wait. And then I'm also going to read this one too. I embrace change. So let's see. And you guys, this is called the Personal Power Oracle deck, in case I forget to show it in the intro. I always forget. I'm so sorry. Okay, but it says here, I embrace change. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Do not resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Yeah, that's what I was saying in your reading. Okay, and it says here, you are not the same person that you were a few years ago. Have you ever looked back and noticed how much you've changed? It can be quite surprising. Over time, we naturally outgrow certain thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Instead of resisting change, embracing it is your superpower. Growth and change are inevitable, similar to detoxing and getting rid of things that are unhealthy for us. Yeah, this card is here to reassure you that you may be going through some changes and to be patient and let them unfold. Like I said, you guys may have a lot of fixed energy or a lot of earth energy, and if that's the case, there is going to be an adjustment phase, and that may be frustrating for you, just like how this card is talking about. It says here, snakes shed their skin for growth and to remove parasites which attach to their body. Oh, I didn't know that. It says, similar to snakes, humans also shed and regrow outer skin cells about every 27 days. Oh, this is like a full moon cycle. It says almost 1,000 new skins in a lifetime. Change and growth can be painful, but when it is all over, a new version of us emerges. This is quite an exciting thought. If if there are ways that you are hoping to grow or change, that nothing is the same forever. The journal prompts, if you guys like to journal, says, how have you changed over the last few years? In what ways do you look forward to changing? How can you embrace any changes that you are going through now? And the description says a woman's back is covered in snake scales, which is symbolic for change and growth. She is going through a major change in her life. She doesn't appear to like it, but she has no choice but to wait for its beauty to appear. Keywords here are change, growth, transformation, and detox. So yes, pile one, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Just take January slow, take it one day at a time, journal if you need to. Realize that you're going through a great change where January is sort of like forcing you into that. So just take it slow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye guys. All right, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with your tarot cards here, and then I'm going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera to see what your January 2022 has in store for you. So I basically have set this reading up for the month of January to reflect a astrology sort of horoscope. So we have your AC ascendant over here. This is your IC Mumkoli down here. This is your DC descendant energy right here to the right. And at the very top is your midheaven MC energy. So basically, I'll explain what every sort of energy means as we look over your cards. But yeah, let's just get started. So for your ascendant energy, this is your overall sort of overarching energy, rising energy for the month. This is the energy that we are most aware of, okay? And so this is going to be the energy that you're most aware of for the month of January. And so what we have here is patience, which is otherwise known as temperance. So you're going to be really leading with some temperance, patience sort of energy for the month. But we'll check that out. For your IC down here, we have rejoice and celebration, which is the 3 of Cups. And basically, the IC is the Mumkoli, and this is kind of the hidden, unaware energy being produced underneath the surface. This is like the subconscious, more so energy. Also, we have down here for your IC is the card of hope, which is the star card. For your descendant energy, which is a very interesting part of the chart, we have, and the descendant rules what is sort of challenging or opposing you. What do you feel like you are lacking or have to work harder for this month that is not in your possession, since the DC directly opposes the ascendant or the AC. The ascendant rising energy rises, the DC descendant energy, it declines, right? It descends. So we have here for you shadow in reverse, which is moon card in reverse for you. And then for your MC, the highest point in the chart, the point in the chart that rules our own personal kingdom. This is our greatest aspirations and goals. So this is going to be your goal for the month, your ultimate desire for the month. This is what would make you look back on January and say, wow, that was a successful month. And we have here patience and planning, otherwise known as the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. So starting with your AC, we have here the temperance energy. So you're working with very careful energy this month, pile 2, or you are moving more carefully in January. And there's no rush here because you are seeing this month as slow and steady wins the race. The more methodical and calculated that you are, the better. So if something is calling for you to be more careful and you are doing that, this is also a lot of attention to detail that you are paying to something of importance or of significance. For some of you, this is a new relationship that you were wanting to take extra slow. You want to feel out this person or this new environment instead of rushing in because things seem good right now. You're moving with a lot of wisdom in January with this level of caution. And it's not like you're paranoid. It's not paranoid caution. You're just aware that something is a little too new or you are too unfamiliar with something to be all in right now. And again, that is a very good sign or a good thing that I keep picking up from your spiritual team. Some of you are focusing on healing in January or recuperating from an ending, as temperance comes directly after the death card. So there was some sort of transformation, some sort of ending that transpired. It may not have been a recent ending, but whenever it took place, it was such a profound learning experience for you. That with this brand new situation or environment, relationship, circumstance, whatever it is, you are taking your time to see how things are going to unfold because you don't want like another surprise right now. Your energy is not set up for that in January. I just wanted to say July for some reason. So that may be a significant month for you this year. Your birthday could be during that month, the month of July, but there could be something significant about July 2022 for my pile twos. But whatever this is, I'm picking up that it is trustworthy for you, that you can trust whatever this sort of new situation may be, or this healing sort of environment may be. This could be like somebody that you meet or a new environment that you step into that it feels quite healing. It feels like it's trustworthy, but you're just taking your time to make sure. You're taking your time to confirm that before seeing something in that light or seeing something in that way. Especially, like I said, with this coming after the death card, you may have felt like with that death card energy, like, or situation or experience or that learning experience that like, you didn't see that for what it was. And so with this new situation, you're like, it feels okay, it feels right, it looks right, but I just want to take my time to make sure of that. So, like I said, I am picking up that it's trustworthy, but you still want to exercise caution. And that is something that your spiritual team is praising. Some of you guys are able to sense that there will be some sort of slight surprise in January, not like a big one, but an unforeseen change that you're going to navigate beautifully because you've been so patient with this Temperance card energy right here. And this is good because if you were moving really fast through this tiny little hiccup that you may hit in January, that tiny little hiccup would have felt like a level 8 earthquake if you were moving fast. And you'll feel a lot more in control this month, in the month of January, the slower that you proceed. Also, for those of you in school, if there's like a project or an important paper or an essay or even like a letter of recommendation, please reread it more than 2 times at least. Just more than 2 times. Let's see, let's get a oracle card for your ascending energy. Okay. It says here, first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. Yeah, you guys' power is in moving a little bit slower, moving with some temperance energy. Sometimes we can mistake power for dominance and, pushing really hard, going really hard, moving really fast. And sometimes power is sitting back and not doing very much. Sometimes power is sitting back and receiving. So it's all about like our definition of power and what that looks like and what that is. Also, something that we spoke about in Patreon on the strength card, which is like, strength is really a personal definition. Same thing with power. But this first quarter moon in Aries, first quarter moons anyways, they're like, obviously it's the first sort of lunar phase. And Aries is all about that willpower, that ability to step into that brand new situation. What I kept picking up with your temperance energy right here is like there is some sort of brand new situation or environment or maybe even relationship. There's some sort of new situation, new chapter that you guys are stepping into. And because it's new, because it's unfamiliar, because it's foreign, you're sort of taking your time to see if it's trustworthy. And so with this first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. This is you guys exercising that power and exercising that control by moving at your own pace, moving at your own speed. We also have Mercury going retrograde January 14th. As I spoke about in pile 1, Mercury retrograde is going to be a lot more challenging this year because he's not just going retrograde in one sign. He's going to go retrograde in air signs and then step back into earth signs every time he goes retrograde in the year of 2022. Last year, he only went retrograde in air signs and he stayed in air signs the entire time that he was retrograde. It's very easy for Mercury retrograde to feel like a very, very disorienting retrograde season every time he goes retrograde this year of 2022. So this for you guys is like you're already able to sort of intuitively sense the environment. You're already able to intuitively sense there may be a little bit of a surprise popping up in January. And it's as simple as like it's a tiny little hiccup. So like I was saying, if you're in school or something, like make sure that you reread your paper or something like that. If you're like a content creator, make sure that you watch your stuff before you hit that post button in the month of January. You know, whatever it is that you do, make sure that you not just double check, but you triple check, especially during Mercury retrograde. That's the slight hiccup where it's just like, damn, I would have caught that if I would have checked one more time. It's not like a big surprise or a bad surprise or anything, but it is like I would have caught that if I would have checked one more time. So yeah, this, with you guys moving slowly, you're going to be able to catch all of that. Underneath the deck here, we have keep your heart open, first quarter moon in Libra. Interesting because Aries sits directly across from Libra, and we have first quarter moon in both Aries and Libra popping up for your ascendant energy. So that's really interesting because we have this natural oppositional energy popping up for you in your ascendant. So you're already going to be sort of moving, and that's what Temperance does. It sort of pours these cups back and forth into each other, and these are opposing cups, and that's why Temperance is known as the alchemist of tarot, because it's able to bring these two dual forces, these two oppositional forces together and make them work. And so that's interesting that you have that popping up for your ascendant energy as well. You guys are really going to be making beautiful things happen with these contrasting energies throughout January. You're going to look like an alchemist. Down here for your Imum Koli, we have the Star card as well as the Three of Cups. So you see how there's like this light that they're holding right here, which I find interesting in this particular Star card. And in this Patience card over here, it looks like they're holding like a small seed. So this Hope card is at your root, meaning the entire month of January, you are operating from this very hopeful sort of place, which is powerful. It's a very, very powerful place to be operating from because it keeps you open to the myriad of possibilities. It says that something really incredible not only could happen, but will happen. As we can see with this Three of Cups right here, the card of celebration and rejoicing. This is the perfect vibration to be in for the future that you are planning, and not just planning, but actively building. You guys are building or rebuilding something from scratch after an ending or after some form of destruction. But the cool thing is that you guys are building from this celebratory place. You're building from this hopeful place, from this place of optimism, which is really powerful. That's the power that you guys are stepping into. That's the power that you are operating from at your core. So it's like the goal of everything that you build, everything that you touch in January is coming from this place of optimism, this place of like hope, this very blessed sort of energy. This is surprising energy as well, but like this hit you out of nowhere possibly, whatever this ending was, but you're focused now on getting back to a place with a strong foundation, a strong core. Some of you went through a breakup with children possibly involved, and you've managed to keep like a well-organized home where it's like, even though this relationship ended, you've managed to maintain a level of normalcy for the kids. So some of you may have even lost a loved one that transition, but this brought you and your other loved ones together in celebration, where you celebrate the time that you have together, the life that you have together, especially after losing someone that was like important. So you guys may have lost someone in the year of 2021 that sort of brought your family together and maybe made you guys realize that life is precious or time is limited. Like, we don't have that much time together, you know? Even if we live to be 150 years old, that's not enough time to have together, to love each other, to celebrate and rejoice with each other, to live this beautiful life, you know? You may even be celebrating the life of someone that transitioned at some point in the past. My pile twos, you guys may have lost somebody in 2021 that passed away. Maybe this person had like a birthday in January, and you and your loved ones still want to get together and honor their birthday, even though they're not here anymore. If that resonates for you, then just know that your loved one that transitioned in the past is at this gathering, and that their heart is full at seeing you and everyone else come together in celebration. Like, that's all they want to see for you guys. So just know that for sure. There's a strong spirit or energy here at the core of your reading that's not allowing some sort of ending or change to disrupt everyone else's center. You are handling this one day at a time and doing so very gracefully. But with this Temperance and the Star card energy right here, it's so beautiful, beautiful way that you are alchemizing January's energy and really sort of bringing everybody together. Let's see. Let's get an oracle card here for this Imum Koli energy. Some of you guys kind of became the matriarch of your family or the patriarch of your family after losing somebody important. And this could have happened in 2021 or before 2021. Let's see, we have here worry. I'm learning that worry does not change an outcome. This is why you guys are working with this oppositional energy, this Temperance card energy right here, because it's like you guys could go into a state of worry. You could go into a state of depression or grieving or frustration, but you know that that's not productive. Like I said, you guys are alchemizing this oppositional energy. Like you are meeting doubts with optimism. You're meeting grief with celebration. You're meeting sadness with joy. Like you guys are alchemizing the hell out of January. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. Underneath the deck here, we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Actually, what I'm feeling with this discipline is like determination. That you guys are determined to stay in this optimistic, joyful, celebratory sort of energy. And you're determined to keep everyone else in the same vibration as well. And I see you guys doing that. And I see you being that for other people in your life as well. Let's see, for your descendant energy right here, we have shadow in reverse, which is the moon card in reverse. So descendant energy, again, is what is challenging or opposing your ascendant energy. If ascendant energy rises, then descendant energy declines. It descends. So because the chart moves this way. So with your ascendant energy, we have the constellation that was rising in the east at the moment that you were born. With descendant energy, we have the constellation that was descending in the west at the time that you were born. So this is the energy that sort of is disappearing. So this is the energy that we feel as though we don't possess when we're dealing with the descendant energy. So this is why they say like your other half kind of completes you. That's exactly what descendant energy is in the astrological chart. So with shadow in reverse or moon in reverse, my pile 2 is what I'm seeing here. For your descendant energy, you are trying to keep it together, or you're trying to keep someone else's spirits up. There may be someone around you who's been down lately, like they have taken an ending or some sort of change very harshly. It's taken a toll on them and you are trying to be strong for them. It's like this idea of like, if I freak out, they'll freak out. If I get down, they're going to get down. So you're pulling up for them basically and being strong for them this month. So the roles may have reversed somewhere where normally somebody that maybe you go to for strength and encouragement, something like that, they're kind of having a down moment in January. It could be like a day, it could be like a week, it could be the month of January that's just difficult for them and they're not their maybe upbeat, optimistic self. And so you kind of have to fill that role for them that they normally fill maybe for you or other people. It's really taken a toll on this person and you're trying to really be strong for them, which is beautiful. This is someone that is usually there for you when you need someone, or this is someone that has maybe possibly for some of my pile 2s, maybe this person has always been a little darker than you. Maybe you've always been the optimistic one, the one that tries to look on the bright side. So you're trying to keep them from sinking into a depression or a state of sadness. And you see how this Temperance card or Patience card is opposing the Shadow card over here? You guys see that? You're like this person's whisperer. Like you kind of know how to pull someone out of a dark place or how to pull this specific person out of those dark mindsets that they may get into from time to time. So for some of you, this could be your child or someone younger than you. For others of you though, it's like it's kind of split down the middle. For half of you, this could be like a child or someone that's younger than you. For the other half of you, it's an interesting dynamic because you may be the younger one, and like this may be your parent that you have to parent in January. Or maybe it's like an older sibling that you have to be strong for. This could be a boss that you end up helping and guiding or leading in January, but you were more equipped somewhere in January than someone else when it comes to seeing the bigger picture or seeing the point of something. It's such a blessing that this person has you to lean on, pile 2, but at times in January, you may feel a little in over your head even. And so anytime you do feel that, it's important to delegate and to decompress when you can. It's going to be important for you too, so you don't exhaust yourself trying to be there for someone else. And I don't necessarily like see that for you, but it is important when you feel tired or like, I cannot show up for this right now. It is important to listen to yourself, because Moon in reverse can talk about feeling overwhelmed or like you don't have the right answers or know the right thing to like say to someone else. So what we have here is the card clearing. Trigger statement: none of this matters. True statement: I am clear. Yeah, see, this is that other person. None of this matters. Is sort of like a nihilistic sort of view on something. Let's just say that like, you know, something negative happened in the past or at some point in 2021. This other person is like, it happened for no reason. Meanwhile, like you see that like, no, everything happens for a reason, you know? Somebody here has a little bit of a nihilistic view towards some sort of change or ending, and they're not necessarily in a place yet where they can accept the fact that maybe this ending or this change or this transformation happened for a reason. You know, they're not there yet. The true statement says, though, I am clear. Feel as any external energy is cleared from you and your space. You are energetically pure and can focus on the task at hand. Yeah, the task at hand is maybe keeping somebody's spirits up. And then underneath the deck here, we have flow. Trigger statement: why are things such a struggle? See, true statement: I am in the flow. Take a breath, dear one, and allow yourself to feel the flow of life through you. Release your need to do and just be. Yeah, this is definitely somebody, and this is somebody else's energy, because this is showing up for your descendant, which is always an energy that is outside of us, basically. So this is somebody else that you're dealing with in January that's like, why are things such a struggle? All they can see sort of is like the negative side. They're really in this pessimistic sort of mindset in January, and you're gonna help them to not necessarily become more optimistic. You're going to help keep them from more self-destructive sort of like thoughts and behaviors that this pessimistic sort of mindset can lead to. You know, pessimism can definitely lead to like self-destructive, self-sabotaging sort of behavior and things like that. But you'll really help keep that person from doing that. Then we have here in the position of your MC, your midheaven. The MC is what is your ultimate goal or desire from the month. This is like our wildest dreams, and this energy is working with you for the month and is very possible. So this is your ultimate potential for the month of January. And so we have here patience and planning, which is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, this is you compartmentalizing. Like when you are at work, you are at work. When you are with family, you are with family. When you are alone, you're focused on being alone. This is you not mixing responsibilities and roles and being very calculated with that. Again, this temperance energy is coming through and is being highly careful about what gets mixed in together in the month of January, which is a very good thing, pile 2. You're extremely wise this month in January, like just knowing this is not something that I need to take on. This is something that I need to focus on. Just being able to sort of delegate that, to declare like this is where I need to put my energy. This is where I need to pull my energy back from, is so powerful in the month of January. You're stepping into your power because you're stepping into your wisdom this month. We also have patience for you twice. We got patience right here and then patience and planning. Okay, so yeah, in January, you're taking one step at a time. You are dealing with one issue at a time because you know that right now you may have to be strong for someone else, or you may be the only one keeping it together at some point in January. So for you, your boundaries are one this month, pile 2. You are so good at delegating when to take care of this versus when to tend to that, versus when to sort of give this certain issues up to something or someone else. And it keeps you from feeling stressed. which is your spiritual team's goal in the month of January. They are doing everything in their power to help you mitigate all that you are juggling in January. And you are doing a beautiful job, pile 2. So make sure in January that you take some time to pat your damn self on the back. And I don't always hear these instructions, so I don't always talk about them. But it's coming through for you this month is to make a dedicated space to yourself in the month of January, almost like an altar to yourself that you can repeatedly visit when you think you need rest or to recharge, or when you think that you need to replenish your own strength, or a place to cry or get frustrated or grieve or be upset, or when you need a reminder of everything that you're managing with grace. So this is going to be your dedicated space when it comes to recharging your batteries, because January seems really busy for everyone else around you. And then here you are with this like still patient, wise energy floating above it all, managing beautifully, but it does take a shit ton of focus to maintain temperance card energy, and only temperance people know that, which will be you in the month of January. So make sure that you have a place that you can retreat to privately in January just for you, pile 2, because again, like I was saying, like temperance card energy is no joke. It's no joke. Like the level of focus that you have to have in order to do what temperance is able to do. It's incredible, the amount of focus that it takes. Okay, that's too many cards. Let's see. This also flipped over here. We have here, work through your feelings, last quarter moon in Aries. Interesting, because we have the first quarter moon in Aries over here. Then we have last quarter moon, work through your feelings. So this is also for my pile 2s. Some of you guys have a goal to heal yourself. You know, some of you guys have a goal where it's like, I also need healing. I also need time. I also need to recharge my batteries. I also need to replenish my strength and my resources. You know, I also have things and goals that I'm trying to tend to as well, which is why you guys may be led with this patience temperance card energy right here for your rising sign energy. Because you guys may be focused on healing yourself. And because of that, you just become this like healing hub sort of center for everyone else. And so that may get a little exhausting for you, which is why I believe that it came through from your spiritual team to have a dedicated place just for you, that you can visit for you, where you can commune with the divine, with your spiritual team, with your ancestors, with your angels, and really get that replenishment. They're here just literally trying to channel strength and energy to you, because it takes a lot. Temperance card energy takes a lot. It's a magical card, but it does take a lot. That's why it's not a human in the card. It's an angel, you know, levitating above the ground in the Rider-Waite-Smith version of temperance. But we also have here, embrace the flow of life, full moon in Gemini. I'll leave that out for you guys as well. Underneath this card, I'm not going to leave these out because I think this card wanted to be seen, but it says here, last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. Full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension, beautiful. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. Yeah, so you guys are even on your own little healing journey, and this is why, this is definitely why underneath the deck we had new moon in Cancer, relax. This is why you're attracting a lot of people that also need some form of healing, because that's just your lead sort of energy this month is temperance energy. And people get drawn to temperance energy like a moth to a flame, because everyone's kind of looking for healing, solutions, answers, strength. Sometimes we know that we need to outsource help when it comes to healing and things of that nature, even though we are very capable of doing that on our own. This is 2 cards. Hold on. I think these are your cards. Okay. So we have here, I tune out negative people and thoughts. And then we also have, I am authentic. So I'm going to read both of these for you guys out of the book. And then underneath the deck, we have I am ready. All right, so I tune out negative people and thoughts says here, do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you will be criticized anyways. You'll be damned if you do and damned if you don't. And that's a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And it says here, tuning out all the negativity in the world is difficult, but sometimes necessary, especially if it is targeted towards you. It is very easy for us to doubt and second guess ourselves based on criticism from others. Trust your own opinions and thoughts. Recognize when the opinions of others are just their opinions. It does not make their opinion a fact or true. So true. It says sometimes other people's feedback is helpful and needs to be heard. It takes courage to pursue your own beliefs and ideas. It takes courage to put yourself out there and be vulnerable to criticism and judgment from others. Do not let the pressure or judgment from others stop you from pursuing your true heart's desires. Tune them out. Take them with a grain of salt and keep shining. Journal prompts. If you guys like to journal, here's some recommended prompts for you guys. It says, is there anything in your life that you have been ignoring when you should have been listening to it? How can you tune out negative feedback from others? How can you tune out negative thoughts? When have you allowed others to get to you with their words? How did it make you feel, and how did you resolve it? When have you been a target for judgment, and what do you think their true intention was? Description says a woman wearing headphones is in her own zone. She doesn't hear what others are saying about her. She's choosing to ignore any judgments or the voice in her head that is sometimes critical. Key words here are ignore and tune out. So you guys may be dealing with someone that is lashing out because they're in a dark place right now with this descendant energy over here that I was talking about earlier. You guys may be combating their darkness with your own light energy, with your own temperance energy, with your own healing energy. Because somebody, like I said, they may be sort of just stuck in their own sort of cycle of pessimism and negativity right now. That may just be where they're at in their journey right now. It's not that they're targeting you. I truly don't feel that. It's not that they're targeting you. I think that they just don't know how to cope with something that they're going through. And sometimes people lash out when they're going through something like that. So you guys may be the unintended target of somebody's inability to cope with something in the month of January, but you guys are going to know how to handle them in the way where it's just you don't even let that get to you, especially with this card right here. So that's really good news. And then let me read this other one. I am authentic. Just remember, someone doesn't mean it. And I personally, I get it. I cannot stand when somebody doesn't know how to keep their bad day to themselves, because it's we're all going through something. All of us are going through something. And it's just because some people are a little more quiet about their battles doesn't mean they're not going through anything. It doesn't mean that anyone has the right to lash out at you because they're having a bad day. I've always seen that as so fucking immature. But it's really, really mature of you to take that in stride and to be able to understand they're going through something. Don't even take this shit personally. So that's really mature of you guys. It says right here, I am authentic. Remind yourself that you cannot fail at being yourself. And this is a quote by Wayne Dyer, I believe. It says, living and being your true authentic self is not always easy. Many times we subconsciously change our behavior, looks, or even beliefs in order to blend in, stand out, or please others. We let the pressures of society, family, or friends mold us into someone that we are not meant to be. This card asks you, in what ways are you being authentic? And is there anything that you feel you have changed against your truest desires? Living an authentic life takes courage and sometimes sacrifice. It may require losing friends or family, but in the end, it is a choice that only you have the power to make. The journal prompts, if you guys like to journal, these are some questions that you can ask yourself or answer in your journal. It says, what does being authentic mean to you? In what ways are you authentic? How can you show up as yourself without the fear of judgment from others? How are you pursuing your goals and not what you think others expect of you? Have you ever changed anything about yourself against your truest desires? The description here says, a woman painted her face. She has a black flower in her hair, a nose ring, and lots of necklaces on. She isn't typical, but she has finally had the courage to be her true authentic self, no matter what people think of her. Keywords here are true, authentic, and honest. And pile 2, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with your tarot cards. Then I'm going to pull some additional oracle cards on camera to see what your January 2022 has in store for you. So I have these readings today set up like an astrological horoscope, basically, where we are going to be checking out your AC, ascendant, or rising energy, as well as your MC, midheaven energy, your DC descendant energy, and your IC Imumkoli energy. And I'll explain each energy as we look into each of these quadrants of your January. So yeah, let's just get started with your ascendant AC energy over here. So basically this is your overall overarching energy, rising energy that you are most aware of for the month. This may be the energy that you actually end up embodying as first house energy does. Our identity lies in the first house. So you have the Hierophant here. Now, this is very interesting because the Hierophant speaks to law and order. So you're very law and order this month. Pile 3, doing things by the book and for a reason. So you'll have a clear idea as to how you want to proceed or how you want January 2022 to end, and you'll be working to stick to that plan this month. You'll seem very serious to others in the month of January. My pile 3s may be a lot more into spirituality or religion this month. You may be more involved in prayer, church, ceremony, manifestation rituals, because this is you trying to keep yourself spiritually charged, motivated, and focused. Some of you are really worried about falling off the wagon or maybe going back to your old ways. You have this higher idea of yourself and who you want to be, but the advice for you here, pile 3, is to not see this version of yourself that you were aspiring to be as opposite of you. Do not aspire to become this. Realize that you choosing to be this new version of you is you becoming this new version. And I see a little bit of temptation around you, and it's like leftover energy from 2021, which was a 5-year or a Hierophant year. And so to see the Hierophant here for you in your ascendant position is letting me know that you guys are nailing some past experiences in the coffin for good. So January 2022 will have some sort of lingering 2021 issues or temptations that may try to pull you back into your old ways. But the Hierophant here is saying that you really don't want to. And again, it's because you don't want to is evidence that you won't, and that you have already changed so much. So there could be like a boss or someone in a higher position or someone that you admire that you get very close to in January. And this is also you listening to a lot of motivational podcasts or speeches or conversations, and you being really conscious of your environment, not even listening to the same types of music. This is you not dressing in the same style, eating the same things. It's like everything that you take into your body and that you absorb it consciously. So this is you being on top of like very law and order. Like I was saying, this is you being on top of like, what is my diet for the month? What am I going to eat for the day? Is what I eat today going to prepare me for a better tomorrow, a healthier tomorrow, or more energized tomorrow? A more aligned future or tomorrow? It's like everything that you take in is like you're thinking about it. Is this good for me? This is very, very Hierophant energy. Very, very, very Hierophant energy. Hierophant is ruled by Taurus, but Hierophant is the Pope of the Tarot. So this energy, this character here is very much all about, is what I do with my physical body, is what I participate in aligned with this divine purpose? Is it aligned with this divine connection that I have to spirit, to the Most High, to God, to the universe? Or is it aligned to my highest potential, to my purpose, my calling? So you know your purpose, your calling, what it is that you love to do, your passion could be Hierophant energy for you. That could be the thing that you're pulled to that sort of acts as God for you, or this really important thing. Hierophant, yes, it is spiritual, yes, it is religious, but when you break down what spirituality and religion is, it's basically just us putting a higher purpose, a higher meaning onto something. And that's exactly what the Hierophant is. So there's these physical changes that you're implementing, and you feel like you are finally getting somewhere, or like you are finally seeing some changes. And there could be a little fear or concern that these changes stop coming in, but you do not have to worry about that. You are surrounding yourself in in a suitable environment for where you're trying to go. And you're surrounding yourself in this type of environment, this conscious environment that you're creating, so that you have this constant reminder to do differently, to act differently, to act in alignment with your goals, with your future, with this higher purpose, with spirit, with God, with whatever is important to you in the month of January. Now, there's a group of pile threes here that will feel like you don't have a choice or an option but to change because of this Hierophant card here. Hierophant, again, is the Pope of Tarot, meaning he passes down these decrees that everyone submits to because he is serving as the mouthpiece of God. He is basically the intermediary. He's the translator for God, for spirit, so that human beings have this connection, this physical human connection to God. That's all that the Pope represents, right? So with the Hierophant being the Pope of Tarot, he passes down these decrees and everyone listens. So this could be, for example, as well, you've been wanting to adopt a healthier lifestyle, but maybe you struggled with the willpower to do it on your own. But in January, you could find out that, like, for example, you have high blood pressure, like your dad used to have. So this almost forces a change in lifestyle for you, where you're living healthier. You're living with this higher purpose of, I don't want to have the same fate as my father that had blood pressure or something. Just an example. I'm not saying that. It's just an example. But it's like it could force some sort of change in lifestyle, whatever this decree that gets passed down to you is. This could also be you hearing from spirit, hearing from God, hearing from your ancestors, your angels, your spiritual team directly, like them passing down guidance and information to you. A lot of knowledge, sacred knowledge, is wrapped up in the Hierophant card because it's all about sacred tradition. And they honor these sacred traditions so they can maintain this closeness to divine energy. It's very difficult to remain a closeness to divine energy when you are also in the flesh, when you are also a human. That makes us a multidimensional being. The divine is so pure because it's all it is. It's just the divine. And so it's a very pure energy. And in order for us to sort of get back to that purity, we have to learn in certain ways how to temper the physical desire, the flesh desire, the things that maybe we lust after that isn't in alignment with this more divine, pure sort of ethereal being. Eating fast food, eating greasy shit is not in alignment with low blood pressure or normal blood pressure or a healthy lifestyle, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, God is what we place importance on. So it is basically your definition of what is important, what is relevant in the month of January. And that's what you're going to be focused on. So this could be God, it could be your health, it could be your career, it could be finances, it could be a relationship, it could be anything. That's up to you. But that's what you're going to be in direct alignment and communication with in the month of January, which is powerful when it comes to manifesting a new reality. So there could be something or someone, some sort of news that comes in January that feels like an ultimatum, or it feels really serious. And this news almost substitutes for your willpower. It motivates you to change and to stick to it. But you are more determined and committed than ever to this change, pile 3. You do not have to worry this month about falling back into your old ways. With this being the Hierophant, some of you may be worried about someone else falling back into old patterns. If that is the case, try not to stress about that, because this other person has to want to change for themselves if this is someone else that you're worried about falling off the wagon. So keep being an example or inspiration, lead by example. Hierophant can come across like a director or an orchestrator, someone that tells you why you should be a Christian, or why you should believe in God, or why you should believe in this, or why this should be important to you, and it's going to be their definition of why you should see something of importance as importance, when at the end of the day, the Hierophant can seriously miss the entire point of religion and spirituality, which is your own individual connection to this higher power or to this higher purpose, this higher meaning in life. It has to be your own unadulterated connection. So the Hierophant can kind of overstep their own boundaries instead of allowing people to connect to their faith on their own. So make sure if you are dealing with someone else and this is a fear that you have for them or this other person, make sure that you are giving them enough space to stay on or fall off the wagon on their own. You cannot force someone else to stay up there if they don't want to. And that could be the most effective way for them to learn how to be more self-motivated and accountable. So try not to be overbearing in that sense, if that is the case. Okay, let's see. Let's get... I'll keep shuffling because that did not feel like your cards at all. Let's get what do we have here? Take a breather. Last quarter moon in Cancer. Cancer is the energy that definitely feels, it's like the mothering energy of the zodiac. So Cancer can definitely feel responsible for other parties. And then we also have here, see the bigger picture. Yeah, that's the energy that you guys are leading in, is this Cancer energy, a need to take a breather, but as well as to seeing the bigger picture, like what I was talking about with your Hierophant energy the entire time. This is you guys just being like, I am committed to this higher purpose, this higher meaning, this thing that I have determined is very important for me in the month of January. And then let's see what we have underneath the deck over here. We have Speak Your World into Being, first quarter moon in Gemini. Yeah, you guys are actually actively like putting your money where your mouth is in the month of January. You're not just speaking your world into being, you are embodying this world into being. So you're almost like pushing this new reality into being, which is very good. Let's check out your IC energy, your Imumkoli energy here. And this is the lowest part of a horoscope. And this area represents the things that we are unaware of. So this is like sort of hidden energy, is subtle energy that is being produced underneath the surface. This is the area of Cancer, the moon, the fourth house. So this is all about our intuition, our emotional state, our soul, our roots. And this is a very important area of the chart to be aware of, because it is, like I said, it's the bottommost layer of the chart. So everything is produced from this area. It's the root. Everything is produced from that area. And so we have here, we've got the Queen of Wands in reverse for you. Again, here's that mothering sort of energy that I was detecting or picking up, especially with this last quarter moon in Cancer, taking a breather. Yeah. Queen of Wands in reverse is her trying to hold someone else's wand, or her trying to light someone else's fire. And this being in the position of your IC, this is what is subconsciously motivating you. This may not even be lighting someone else's fire, but this could be trying to light a fire in a different avenue or in a different area than where you need to be focused. So this could be representing a little bit of a distraction in the month of January for you. Or even avoidance sort of energy, because the Queen of Wands energy is right there in your face. Queen of Wands upright, King of Wands upright, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, all the wands are not afraid of being right there in the center of confrontation, because they are natural warriors. You have this energy within you at your root, but it's in reverse for the month of January, meaning that you really don't feel like dealing with this shit. You don't feel like confronting something in the month of January. If you can't avoid it, you're probably going to try to in the month of January. And I don't blame you, because you're trying to focus on breaking your own limitations. You're trying to focus on transcending your own limitations. You're honestly in competition with yourself in the month of January. So you're just like, I don't have this energy to confront something else this month, especially something that you deem as unimportant or irrelevant. So with this Queen of Wands energy in reverse in this position, this is saying to take care of your own home first. Before you try to maybe light someone else's way, make sure you know where you are going. It's a little too much to concern yourself with someone else's journey or path when you need to stay focused on your own. And that's the energy that I feel like you guys are going to be in. I don't even feel like this is coming through as like advice for you guys. I feel like this is the energy that you're in, where it's like, this is too much for me to concern myself with your journey or your path or your responsibilities. These are your responsibilities. So you're very much so, you're self-involved in the month of January, but this is really good for you. Some of you have not been also getting the basics, like the essentials: rest, water, good diet. You may be putting too much pressure on yourself, pile 3. And not in the month of January, but it feels like a past sort of energy. So I feel like you guys are moving into January like, I'm taking way better care of myself. I don't have time for confrontational sort of situations in the month of January. I need to kind of pour me into me. This is definitely, if you are putting too much pressure on yourself, that stress is seeping into your ability to take care of yourself. You realize that. And that's why you're moving into January like a lot more self-involved. So in January, you're being challenged to do something for yourself every day. Every day this month, starting whenever you see this reading, do one thing for yourself. It could be as simple as like a bubble bath at night, like drawing a bath for yourself, or buying a new outfit. Maybe it's planning a trip to take this year, or buying a new TV. Another thing that's coming through is interesting is Queen of Wands. She has to be motivated by something. That's what that wand stands for. It stands for, this is what pushes me. This is what pulses through my entire being. This is what motivates me. This is the agenda that is making me operate the way that I do. That's sitting at the core of me. That's what wand energy is. Mars energy is. God of War energy is. I've always described him as, he is the reason that we do the things that we do. So when we're dealing with wands, we're dealing with motivation. What is motivating you at your core? Because that's what wand fire energy does. It emboldens us. It gives us the passion to do something for a reason. So this is all about the reason, the motivation. In reverse, this Queen of Wands, she doesn't have much to look forward to, in the sense that the work or the sacrifice and the commitment is worth it. And the Hierophant requires a lot of our freedom and autonomy. It almost snuffs out passion, because it's all about what you're supposed to do, not what you want to do, when we're dealing with Hierophant energy, which is your leading ascendant energy for the month of January. So there's something very important with your Queen of Wands in reverse. She is saying, set up a reward. Give me something to look forward to, like that bubble bath, or that new outfit, or that trip for this summer. It can't just be all sacrifice and employment. So this is about igniting your own fire, so you don't get tired of making these everyday sacrifices. And it's easy to burn ourselves out when we are turning a new leaf, because in the beginning, it can just feel like we are missing out on, or denying ourselves, or sacrificing what we used to indulge in. And if you don't find something to replace that indulgence with, then yes, that can lead to a risk of falling off the wagon. And that may be what you are detecting or a little bit afraid of. Like, think about it. Would we eat healthy and work out if it wasn't for having like a beautiful body, a beautiful figure, or being healthy? Like, if eating right and exercising didn't mean that we were going to be more healthy, would we do it? Probably not. What's the point? So for the Queen of Wands, oops, sorry guys. So for the Queen of Wands this is all about pretty much doing what we're supposed to do, or not doing what we're supposed to do, but doing what we are motivated to do, but for a reason. So it's worth it when there's something to look forward to. Your Queen of Wands in reverse is saying, give me a reward, give me something to look forward to. So there's something that's a little too holy about the Hierophant for you in the month of January, which isn't a bad thing. But you are human, and you need to feel like you are getting something out of this, okay? For example, let's say you want to get in shape, so you cut off sweets and you start exercising, and it's a very rigorous program and a very strict diet, which is what the Hierophant speaks to. It is a strict-ass way of living when we're dealing with the Hierophant. We're dealing with the Pope. They don't even partake in like certain like normal human experiences. Isn't it with the Pope, like they die a virgin or something like that, something odd? So I mean, it's like they really deny themselves of normal things, and that's a very strict way of living. It needs to be something, it needs to be worth it, it's got to be worth it. Queen of Wands in reverse is saying, okay, you took away my sweets and desserts and carbs and sugar, give me just a little bit of pleasure, a little something. Maybe instead of going cold turkey, no sweets ever again, maybe once a month, you pick a day to have whatever sweets you want. And it makes that everyday sacrifice not just worth it, but a lot easier, because you have something to look forward to, It's much more easy to maintain when we do things in moderation versus these absolutes, like, I'll never do this again. But there's something here about moderating even the sacrifices for you, pile 3. Let's see, let's get an oracle card for this energy down here. Okay, so we have regret and judgment. Regret says, I know that I cannot change the past. And judgment says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Kind of like what I was talking about in that one scenario. If there is somebody else that you're worried about them falling off the wagon, that cannot be your concern. Like it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And then we have regret here. I know that I cannot change the past. This could be regret from maybe choosing to live a little bit more of a stricter lifestyle, which is why I said to moderate the sacrifices. You don't want to regret going on this new lifestyle change because it's truly good for you. The Hierophant is truly good for you, but it can be a lot to go from indulging and not really having a lot of self-control to just cold turkey. I'll never do it again. That can be a lot. And that may be the feeling that you're afraid of, is this regret of trying to live this better, healthier lifestyle. And that's what you want to avoid. And to help avoid this regret or this feeling of like, I don't know if I can do this, kind of moderate it, like slowly wean yourself off. It doesn't have to be cold turkey. And then underneath the deck here, we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Now, obviously go off of your own intuition. If you know that you're somebody where it's like, I need to go cold turkey, then you know what's best for you. But if you know that going cold turkey could ultimately end up with you like falling off the proverbial wagon, then maybe like slowly wean yourself off until you're in a space where the Hierophant doesn't necessarily feel like the Hierophant, where it feels more normal, more natural. In your descendant energy here, we have the Sun in reverse. Yeah, so descendant energy is basically what is challenging or opposing you. It's like, what do you feel like you are lacking or have to work harder for that is not in your possession when we're dealing with descendant energy. This is ascendant energy, rising energy. Descending energy means that it is declining or descending. So when we're dealing with descendant energy, these are normally traits and energies and different things that we may admire in others because we feel as though we don't have those traits within ourselves. For example, the descendant energy would be like, damn, I'm always late, my home is always messy, but my boyfriend or my girlfriend, like, they're so neat and they're so organized and they're always on time. That's descendant energy, where it's like, I wish I was like that. And that's because it directly opposes the ascendant. The ascendant is us. So anything that opposes the ascendant is going to be someone else, okay? It's going to be something that's outside of us. So with the Sun in reverse showing up for your descendant energy, this is what is opposing you or challenging you. The fact that somewhere you are looking at something like, I can never have sweets again, just going back to that example, like I can never do this again. Sun in reverse. I've lost out on that one thing, or I've sacrificed that thing that used to make me so happy, or it used to make me feel like sun upright. So pile 3, this is about manipulating your own willpower with the Sun card here. Some of you are saying, I wish I was normal. I wish I had more self-control. But pile 3, discipline is learned, okay? It's not a character trait. It takes time to get to the place that you were trying to get to, and you're just going cold turkey. Now, some people can do it and others struggle. Even for the people, though, that go cold turkey on one thing, they may struggle in another area to have self-control, because self-control is learned. It is not given. So you are looking at yourself in some area of life and being like, why can't I be like that? Maybe it's always being late. It could be difficult for you to show up on time or to finish things by a deadline. Whatever this may be, where you feel like you struggle with this, it takes time to learn a new behavior. I can't remember who said this, but I heard it one time. But he was like, people come to me all the time and ask me like, do you have any mantras where I can change this and that about myself? And he was like, they get so disappointed because like within a week, they're not different. And he was like, you have to think about it. You're coming to me at 20 years old, 25 years old, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you're expecting to change a certain behavior trait or something that you've been doing for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. You're expecting to change in a week. It's not going to happen. So there's like a process here, and it is okay. It's perfectly okay for you to not be different overnight. This is not overnight change. Overnight change is actually not the type of change that you want to see, because overnight change is usually not long-term. Long-term change, it comes with hiccups. It comes with challenges. It comes with literally changing that momentum. So you have to put as much energy into changing something that you've been actively practicing for a long amount of time. And so don't be disappointed or frustrated with yourself in that. We don't just wake up a different person. We mold her or him until we don't see a difference between the old self and the new self. But again, it takes time. And there is a sense of just wanting this process to be completed already, which I get it. I get it. I totally get it. It would be so nice if we just had like a remote control or like a little button, a little switch we could just like press and boom, we're just different, right? But you know, you're on your way. So do not let these hiccups hit you so hard that you feel like, I knew I couldn't change, or I knew this wouldn't last. These hiccups, the setbacks, falling off the wagon is normal and to be expected in most cases. But do not create this new identity around never fucking up or around never falling short. Because one, you are human. It is not normal to be the Hierophant, okay? Which is why there's only one pope. It's not normal to make these types of sacrifices. Your willpower has to be insane to be the Hierophant. Insane, okay? And plenty of people fuck up trying to be the Hierophant. And so these aspirations you have for yourself is not that they're unattainable. It's just going to take time to train yourself to become this new version of you or to get there. It's just going to take time. Just refrain from creating a new identity around never screwing up, never falling short. Because if that happens, where you fall short, where you fall off the wagon, you don't need to see yourself as a screw up or as a failure. You have not failed. You need to maintain the goal and maintain the mindset that I can do this and I'm going to keep working at it. So even when I fall off the wagon, I get back up and I try again. So, you know, it's like, and then one day you'll wake up and you won't have to try as hard. It won't even be a conscious act for you anymore to do differently or be differently because you'll have implemented this new level of self-discipline. But you're in the early stages in January of molding this new trait or learning these new behaviors. So don't worry about that. Let's get an oracle card for your descending energy. Last quarter moon, practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for the small changes you have made because you've already come far. You really have. Then we have new moon and Cancer, relax. This card has been popping up for a few of the piles. But practice gratitude for the changes that you have made. Realize the changes that you have made and how incredibly powerful that is. Oh wait, I wasn't even supposed to pull that card for that. I was supposed to, okay. All right. I was supposed to get one of these cards for your descending energy. So we have here awareness, trigger statement, I never get what I want. True statement, I am a powerful creator. Listen to your inner voice. Release your ideas of the outcome you wish to see and trust that you are aligned with the universe. Exactly what I was telling you guys or saying to you guys. Yeah, realize that you've already changed. By just deciding I want to make these changes, you've already changed. Trying to move these down, sorry you guys, so you can see them. And then we have here Ginger, the card of will. Trigger statement, I'm a victim. True statement, I am powerful beyond measure. You are strong and capable with gratitude, optimism, and action. Manifest the life you deserve. That's what you guys are doing. So don't lose faith in the fact that that's happening. Do not lose faith in that. Your willpower is going to be tested with this Hierophant card right here. You're going to be tested. That's just what the Hierophant talks about. It talks about constantly denying the temptation to do what you know is not in alignment with that higher purpose or that higher meaning. And then underneath the deck here we have breathe. Trigger statement, I can't breathe. True statement, I open up to all possibility. You are ready to let go of the suffering so that you can take in new possibilities. Release so you can receive. And let's check out your MC energy for the month. We have here Justice in reverse. Okay. And then we have Ace of Cups, also in reverse. All right. Hold on, let me change my battery, you guys. So MC mid-heaven energy sits at the very top of the chart, right? So if we have the roots down here, then we have the branches and the leaves that reach for the light. This is potential, basically, when we're dealing with the MC. the 10th house, Capricorn energy, which naturally rules the MC. This is all about your ambitious energy. This is what you, basically your ultimate goal or desire for the month. What would make you look back on January and say this was a successful month? So we have here for you Justice in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So your goal is to be more balanced and to be able to accept yourself for who you are. I'm seeing with this Ace of Cups in reverse. That's what you want so badly. That's why I was hearing, I just want to be normal. Why can't I be different? Whatever you struggle with, you don't think other people struggle with. And this is a scare tactic that your mind uses to ostracize you and make you feel like this issue is bigger than your willpower, but it is not true, pile 3. Didn't we pull will for you? Yeah, we've got will right here. Nothing is stronger than our willpower. Your willpower, your choice, your free will is the only thing we truly own in this existence, in this universe. All we can control is our choices and actions. That is a beautiful thing too, because it is much easier than we think to change when we don't like something about ourselves. Some of you were born with Venus opposing a personal planet of yours. Maybe Venus is opposing your sun or your Mercury or your Mars, maybe even Jupiter. So some of you were born with some difficult aspects to your Venus, or some harsh aspects to it, because as she has been retrograding in the sign of Capricorn, which Capricorn traditionally rules the area of the MC, the area of regnum, which means kingdom. So this is your own personal kingdom. You've been more aware than ever. As Venus has been retrograding in Capricorn, pile 3, you guys have been more aware than ever of every little thing that you don't like about yourself, especially if you are one of my pile 3s, where Venus has some difficult aspects to some of your personal planets, or even your even the bigger planets. So in January, it's important that you don't interpret this or turn this awareness into a moment of brutal self-criticism or a form of self-hate and self-loathing, because it's not why Venus is trying to get your attention. She's holding your attention like this in January because she wants you to flip your Queen of Wands upright. Okay, so you can feel a sense of pride and self-love for all of you, not just some of you. You see how your Queen of Wands is opposing your Justice in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse? She's opposing your self-love because all you want is to feel accepted by you. That's what makes you feel different, is you think everyone else has a better sense of appreciation for themselves, or like everyone else has a peaceful relationship with themselves. But what you don't realize is there's a lot of people around you struggling with that self-acceptance. We have Sun card in reverse showing up as your DC. So other people are struggling, but they're quiet about it. You'd never know. They'd probably be shocked at the fact that they come off to you like they love themselves. So with this Ace of Cups in your MC position, you may already have a mood board or a dream board in your home, but this is definitely saying to make a mood board specifically for January, where you would like to see yourself at the end of the month. Surround yourself with that. Keep bombarding yourself with these ideas and reminders of self-love and self-acceptance, because like I said, you've already changed by simply deciding to change. You've never really done that before. And so it's about reminding yourself as you change and transform that you're not changing because something is wrong with you, but simply just because you want to correct some behaviors or attitudes. You know, it's important to remember though, there's nothing wrong with you. You just want to revise a few things or correct a couple of things. But it doesn't mean, again, that anything is wrong with you. Okay, that's a very fine line that you are walking in the month of January. It is very, very important to remember that. I also saw 333 for you guys while doing your reading. It was like 333 on the clock, so that could be a significant number or time for you guys in the month of January. Let me shuffle these 1 second. All right. Okay, we have the card that came out for you is I am ready. And then underneath the deck we have I have a higher purpose. See? Like the Hierophant, like what I was talking about. Your whole reading. I'm going to leave both of these out. I'll read both of these in the book for you, so hold on. I am ready says, if we wait until we are ready, we will be waiting for the rest of our lives. And this is a quote by Lemony Snicket. Okay. It says, you are ready for something new. It may be scary, but know that the universe is always supporting you. It may not be easy, but it will help you grow. There are a lot of things that we simply cannot be prepared for, but we learn along the way. Yeah. It says you may never feel ready for some of the greatest things in your life, like the Hierophant. Sometimes you just have to do it and figure it out along the way, right? Like if you fall off that wagon, it's okay. Pile 3. It says, you may have heard the phrase, done is better than perfect. If you've been wondering whether you are good enough or experienced enough to do something, this card is telling you, yes, you are. For those of you that journal, these are some questions to answer or to think about. It says, what have you been avoiding? What have you been wanting to do but have not felt ready for? What is it that you are waiting for? What is holding you back? When will you be ready? What if you simplify and start with the end and then fill in the missing parts later? Description says a woman covers her face. She is holding herself back, uncertain if she is ready to take a leap, and the keywords are fear, action, and ready. That's exactly what your entire reading was about. And then with I have a higher purpose, it says here, we are all here for a reason and have a higher purpose. It's very different for everyone. Sometimes the smallest things we do make a huge impact on others. It's very normal to wonder what your higher purpose is. If you are wondering that, then you may not be living it yet, or perhaps you simply don't see it yet. Hierophant. Yeah. It says you may very well be already doing what you are destined to do, but still wonder if there is something bigger. The fact that you may be searching for these answers makes you that much closer to discovering it. Like I said, the fact that you guys have decided to change means you've already changed, period. The fact that you guys are looking for this Hierophant higher meaning means you've already found it. Is done. And it says here, whatever lights you up or makes you feel the most excited is usually partly tied to what you are meant to do. Yeah, like the Queen of Wands down here. Yeah, it says, do not doubt for a second that you are not here for a greater cause, because you are. Some people figure it out sooner than others. No matter what, have faith that the puzzle of your life will come together. Ask for guidance and meditate to get some clarity. Surrender to the signs being sent to you from the universe. Life often surprises us and can take us on a totally unexpected path. We're not always meant to know what that path is, so just relax and enjoy the ride. Everything that we do creates a butterfly effect. Making someone smile, sharing your wisdom, or listening to someone vent can impact many. You don't always need some big grand mission. Your life is no accident, and just by being here, you are fulfilling your purpose, even if you have no idea how. Journal prompts here are what lights you up, like this Queen of Wands in reverse down here. This is wild. It says, what do you feel is your life's purpose? What events do you feel are leading you on your life's purpose? What events have made you question your life's purpose? And what can you do to help you uncover your life's purpose? Description says a woman looks up towards the universe, wondering why she has been put on earth and what her life's purpose is. Keywords here are purpose and destiny, which you were already tapped into, pile 3. But this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Your reading ran a lot longer than I expected, your specific pile, but thank you all so much for sticking out this reading with me, for being here. I pray this reading brought you guys love, support, clarity, strength. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon, and until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, pile number 4, welcome to your reading. We're starting with your tarot cards, then I'm going to pull additional oracle cards on camera to see what your January 2022 has in store for you. So these readings today, I have set up like an astrological horoscope where we're going to be checking out your ascendant rising energy, your IC Imum bottom of the chart energy, your DC descendant energy, as well as your MC midheaven very top of the chart energy. Okay, and so I'm going to be explaining each of these energies as we go through your cards. But yeah, let's just get started with your ascendant rising energy. So this is basically your overall overarching energy, your rising energy that you are most aware of for the month. And our rising energy is the energy that we embody the most. This is usually the energy that people mistake us for, with our sun sign being in, because this is the energy that we lead with. It's all about our identity and how we present ourselves to the world. So let's see what energy you're going to be mostly embodying in the month of January. And we have here, we've got the 7 of Swords in reverse. Oh, this is quite interesting. You guys may be hearing some rain. I think it's like snowing. I'm not sure what that is. Hold on. Oh no, it's just rain. Okay. You may hear that in the background. That's what it is. So we've got the 7 of Swords here for you. Now, Pile 4, I see you being determined in January to not be your own worst enemy. There's a lot of ideas about yourself that you are overcoming in January that will keep you from self-sabotaging in the future. It's going to keep you from attacking your own self-esteem and your own identity in the future. Some of you guys may have spent a lot of your lives, majority of your lives, not speaking to yourself in the most pleasant way, in the most positive way. This is something that you're entering into the year 2022 where you're like, I am not doing this anymore. Like you refuse to talk to yourself like this anymore, especially because it came from other people not lifting you up, not pushing you up, not speaking to you in a positive light. Some of you may have experienced this with your own family, your own parents, where maybe they put you down and you guys learned that. You took that on as like a normal thing to do, is to maybe speak to yourself in a way that's not productive. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. And this is something that you guys have learned, and you're like, wow, I didn't know you were supposed to talk to yourself this way. This is something that you guys are walking into 2022 like, I'm not gonna deal with myself this way anymore. Because the Seven of Swords can deal with that. Seven of Swords usually talks about someone else trying to kind of get over on us, or trying to do something behind the scenes, trying to be a little bit sneaky in terms of how they take advantage of us, take advantage of our trust, or take advantage of the fact that our guard is down. And so this seems like definitely someone else in the past maybe that took advantage of you, or they knew that your guard was down. They knew that you would believe them if they told you like, you're this type of person or you're that type of person. You know, they kind of projected maybe their own insecurities onto you because they knew that you would believe them. And so this was somebody that definitely took advantage of you in the past, but you're really taking that power back in January and in the year of 2022. This is your like year energy too. I'm feeling very strongly for my pile 4s. Trust is also a big thing for you in January. Learning to trust yourself and others, or taking the leap of faith to trust yourself and others. This is a new experience for you. And I see you consciously leaving people in the past as well that you can't trust. For many of you in this pile, you did that not because of a New Year's resolution, but you likely ended some relationships with untrustworthy people in December or throughout the year 2021. Your phone may not be blowing up as much, but you feel much more relaxed not having certain people near you that could stab you in the back. You know, like these are people around you that have already sort of proven to you that they have this Seven of Swords type of character or type of energy, where they don't mind doing whatever it takes. These are the people that you're separating or distancing yourself from in the year 2022, walking into 2022. And you may have even done that throughout 2021, and especially in December of 2021. You know, you've got some strong boundaries that you've created for even yourself, that you've surrounded yourself with in January. Some of you have also performed a protection ritual around yourself in your home to keep people with ill intent away from you and away from your home. Something painful taught you a brutal lesson in December, I feel. Someone or something that ended painfully taught you to be a lot more demanding and a lot more intentional about who is around you. You're not as passive about who gets to be around you anymore because of this. Some of you had money stolen in December. I don't know why I saw that, but it's like you were taking more precautions now. And I love that this is in reverse for you, because you were not doing this out of paranoia, but because you have learned, you know better now. And so you are taking more precautions to make sure people with ill intent don't have such easy access to you anymore. And you know the signs to look out for now. And so you're not making excuses for certain signs that you notice anymore. You're not excusing certain behavior or treatment that you know you do not deserve. You're leading with this energy in January. So if there is anyone that has done something wrong in the past, don't expect them to say sorry to you or to approach you in January, because they are a little intimidated. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Whoever this is, if somebody screwed up in the past and you've been waiting for them to fess up to it, to own up to it, to take accountability, to say sorry, to try and redeem that, they're not approaching you in January. They're too scared. They know they fucked up. They know it. They know it. They know it. They know that like you're on to them now. Like you see them now for who they are and what they've done to you and the ways that they may have damaged your identity, your sense of self, your self-esteem, your confidence. You're aware of that now. And so you're like standing in this conviction. You're kind of standing in a different form of power now where you're just like, now I realize that this is not okay. Now I know that this was not acceptable behavior. And so you're really standing in that now, and you're standing in it proudly. And this is something to be very proud of yourself for. This is something to be very excited about. So they're a little intimidated. You're just wearing your dissatisfaction and disappointment with this person on the surface, and they cannot face that right now. They cannot face you. So when we deal with the sevens in tarot, we are dealing with confusion to a certain extent. All the sevens, the Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. We're dealing with a lot of moving parts that we're trying to iron out in a way. So with this being in reverse, either this was someone that screwed up again, but it seems like you're not even willing to try and figure out someone else's actions or some sort of outcome because you know it's unwarranted, and you're just leading with that. You're leading with boundaries in January, which again is really powerful for you. See, let's get an oracle card for your ascendant energy. So we have here last quarter moon in Taurus. Look, be proud of yourself. Like what I literally just said. This is a reason to be proud of yourself. You've got so many reasons to be proud of yourself, pile 4. And then underneath the deck here, we have New Moon and Pisces attuned to the divine. This is your own divine energy. This is your higher energy that's like, you realize how divine you are. You realize how special you are. You realize how priceless you are. You realize how worthy you are, how deserving you are. You realize how you didn't deserve some sort of past treatment. And now you're just standing in that. You are attuned to your own divine energy in January. And that's why I'm saying this person is intimidated as fuck by you, because you have tapped into your own divine energy now. They're freaked out by it because they realize that like, oh damn, you're on to me. You're more powerful than me. You're stronger than me. You have a better sense of self than I do, you know? And they just know, they know their manipulation, their gaslighting tactics don't work anymore. They're aware of that. They've lost their kind of importance or power in your life. You've disempowered someone in your own life and in your own sort of like relationships or circle or environment. And that freaks them out. They don't want to step into a place where now you're on to the fact that they're not as powerful as they tried to come off as. Let's check out your IC energy, your Imum energy. This is the lowest part of the chart. So this is all about hidden, unaware energy that is being produced underneath the surface. The IC is traditionally ruled by Cancer and the Moon, the 4th house cusp. Again, this is the lowest part of your chart. So this represents roots, home, the family, the mother, our intuition, our emotional self, our soul, who we are at the core, our essence. So when we're dealing with the roots, everything is produced from the roots, okay? And this is a very important part of the chart, but because it's the lowest part, it's hidden, it's subtle, we're not as aware of it. And so it's kind of like the things that run on autopilot. So let's check that out. And we have here, we've got the 4 of Cups for your IC energy for the month. Okay. And this is interesting. At a subconscious level, you may have wondered or asked the question like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I deserve to be treated right by this person? Why did they always do me like that? Why does this always happen? 4 of Cups is a card of comparison, I've always called it, because there he is in the traditional Rider-Waite Coleman Smith version depiction of the 4 of Cups. He is staring at other people's cups. He's staring at the 3 of Cups. He's watching them celebrate and rejoice and have fun and just meld so well with each other and really enjoying each other's company. And there he is sitting over there like isolated by himself, really trying to figure out like, why can't I just integrate as easily into society and into these groups of people and into these communities? Why can't I be accepted the same way? Why am I so in my head? Why am I so unable to just naturally and organically fuse with these other people? So, you know, he feels singled out and ostracized, like his cup isn't good enough, or like his cup isn't like everyone else's. So you may be struggling at a subconscious level with feelings of, why isn't my cup good enough? Sorry, you guys, had a phone call. But yeah, with the 4 of Cups, he's kind of wondering why his cup isn't like everyone else's. And he doesn't realize that like his cup is identical to everyone else's, in the sense that like, not like he's identical or like a clone of everyone else and that he's not original, but he has the same capabilities. He has the same ability to integrate himself into this community or into society, but he's just so in his head and he's insecure about his own cup to the point where he creates that reality. He manifests this reality. He manifests these really believable reasons that manipulate him into thinking that his cup isn't good enough when it's identical to everyone else's. So, and this is something that we do a lot of the times, like a lot, and this happens in school if you notice. It's like we don't realize anything is wrong with us. We don't look at ourselves as though something's wrong with us until someone else points out a flaw or points out something where it's like, oh, that is different from everyone else. You know, sometimes that comes through a sibling. Sometimes that comes through kids at school. Sometimes it comes through society. Sometimes it always comes through as like a judgment. Sometimes it comes from ourselves where we're just like, wait, I don't do that. I'm not as charismatic. I'm not as tall. I'm not as skinny. We kind of can create these comparisons on our own. And Four of Cups comes from our own comparisons. So, you know how they say comparison is the thief of joy? That's exactly what the Four of Cups is. This is sitting at your IC level. So you may be wondering, why am I not good enough or deserving enough of a certain level of respect? This other person respects everyone else. They don't treat anyone else like this. Whoever this Seven of Swords in reverse person may be for you. This is all subconscious for you. I want to also say for you, pile 4, watch your dreams in January. You may have a recurring nightmare or dream of someone chasing you, maybe you being rejected. That's because your subconscious is trying to push out any feelings of self-blame or responsibility that you may have unknowingly taken and absorbed from someone else's actions or opinions. Meditation, as you can see, she's meditating in this card. Meditation will help speed this process along as well. And it'll also help you lucid dream where you take control over your dream state, because your subconscious wants you to take control of this experience in your life by implementing those emotional boundaries where you are not willing to go there anymore. Like I picked up with your Seven of Swords right here in reverse, where you're like, I'm not going there anymore. I don't believe you anymore. I'm not listening to you anymore when it comes to my own identity and when it comes to my self-esteem. I am not listening to you anymore. You are not the barometer of truth when it comes to who I am and what I am deserving of anymore. So this could be a past experience, a past relationship, an ex-friend, an ex-lover. This could be a family member that used to put you down. This could be your own self-talk. This could be your own self-talk where you used to say to yourself, you know, these things that really beat up on your own self-esteem. And you're just not doing that anymore. You're like, I don't believe you anymore. The spell is broken. So your subconscious is really helping you push to take control of this experience in your life. And you're not willing to take responsibility for someone else's poor choices if this was another person. So if you enter into a state of lucid dreaming during one of these night terrors in January, the recurring nightmares will instantly stop, because you'll realize you have a lot more emotional authority and intelligence than you give yourself credit for. And you will also feel that in your waking life. What we experience in our lucid dreams, it's incredible when we take over our dream state, because it's such an experience that we end up waking up and still having possession over that same power. It's a really beautiful, incredible experience when we take control of our own subconscious, because it's usually always just happening in the background, like on autopilot. And we hardly ever take control over it because we don't always realize it in our dream state. So when you do have those experiences and those moments where we take control, we're like, oh, hell yeah, I am in control here, you know? And so that's what's happening for you in a lot of areas in your own life where it's like you're coming awake. It's like you're coming awake in your own waking life. It's like you're having this lucid experience in your waking life now too. And so this is extremely powerful for you. So this month, you know, it's all about you gaining control over the subconscious. So it's not revolving this idea and feeling around that somehow you could have changed someone else's actions and integrity, or that somehow, like, you know, you're just not believing that negative self-talk anymore. If this is more so like your own self-talk. Let's see, let's get a oracle card here. Look, we've got fear. See, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. That's what you guys are doing. This is at your subconscious IC level. So this is you realizing that it's like, this is fear that you're breaking out of. We just talked about this on Patreon. Well, we started talking about it like a month ago, where I said that 2022 is going to really revolve around these themes of fear. Because of the South Node moving into Scorpio, which is the sign of fear. It is ruled by Pluto, the darkest planet in our solar system. It's so far away from our consciousness. That's the area of the shadow. We're dealing with that, which is why I've always seen Pluto and Scorpio as the unconscious. A lot of people will say that Pisces represents that, and it can, but I've always seen Pluto and Scorpio as the unconscious. So there's a lot of really deep fears. There's a lot of really big demons that lives in Scorpio energy, not because Scorpio's evil, but because it's just housed there. It's the darkest place. So that's where we shove everything that we don't want to see and that we don't want to acknowledge. And so those things, they sit there and they germinate, they grow. With the North Node in Taurus, which is a earth sign, a fixed earth sign, our fears are literally going to manifest. They're going to materialize into a physical form. They're going to take physical form. Our fears that in our unconscious that used to just live in a certain part of our brain in some other dimension is going to show up on our doorstep physically in the year of 2022. And we're going to be able to reach out and touch our literal fears in 2022. And the beautiful thing about that, with the North Node being in Taurus, is the fact that it's materializing these fears so we can confront them, so we can sit and have a literal physical conversation with them. And this is how we're going to physically transcend these fears. And it's going to be a really beautiful experience. In my opinion, I think it's going to be great. Underneath the deck here, we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So that's another thing that's happening at your subconscious, is dealing with this indecision. You're over dealing with that indecision of, do I deserve to be treated this way or don't I? You're over that. The spell has been broken. Let's check out the DC over here. This is the descendant energy. So if this is your rising ascendant energy, then over here to the right, that is directly opposing your ascendant, we're going to have your descendant, declining energy. And so when we're dealing with the descendant, usually this is the descendant is a seventh house. So if the first house is about the self, the seventh house is about other people. So the descendant is the place where we see these traits that we wish we had show up in other people, which is why we call our significant others our other half, right? Or our better half. And so that's what the descendant represents. So let's check out your descendant energy, what you feel as though maybe you are separated from or that you're not in possession of in the month of January. And we have divine wisdom. Now, this is interesting because this isn't actually a tarot card. It's an extra card that was included in this particular deck. Someone in your life, pile 4, has some words of wisdom that will come through, is very healing for you. You may not be able to hear them in the moment, but your spirit and subconscious is going to absorb it and it will set in. But this could be like your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse. It could be someone that you consider a soulmate, whether it is romantic or not, but there is a very healing energy around you in the form of another physical person. And they have this way of repeating to you what your subconscious has been trying to say. And so it's like you are hearing your own voice or your own thoughts from the mouth of another person in January. That hits so differently. It really helps solidify what you already feel, what you already know, like concrete, which is where, like I was saying, the spell is broken. I know who I am now. I know I'm not that person with that low self-esteem or with these. I know I'm not just my insecurities. I know I'm not just my fears anymore. Now I know it. Now I see it. Now I get it. And so this person is going to come through, this other person or this other piece of wisdom that you feel like kind of meets you in the month of January is going to be all about confirming that, validating that feeling that is germinating in your subconscious. So this is a really great mirroring sort of reflection thing that happens to you in January, where you are seeing this reflection of yourself in this stronger light, in this stronger sense where you're like, everything that you feel about yourself, where you're like, I am so much better than what I gave credit for, or what I align myself with is going to come through and actually validate for you in the month of January. Okay, so it's like, let's just say that you never thought that you were an attractive person, and you're moving into 2022 where you're like, no, I am beautiful, I am attractive. You're going to actually run into physical evidence of that in the month of January. Just an example, but it's like you're going to run into physical evidence of that where it's like you keep getting hit up on like dating apps, or you keep getting like hit on, or you keep getting these reminders from people that don't even know you, like, wow, you're really beautiful, or you have a really beautiful smile, or really beautiful energy, or you're really attractive. Is going to keep coming through to you to validate that to you. And it's going to be this constant like cycle and recycle of what it is that you've been feeling subconsciously come to a more conscious physical level, surface level. It really helps solidify what you already know. And this could even be a therapist that you start seeing in January with this medical symbol here on this divine wisdom card over here. That could definitely help, again, validate what you already know. This is someone with healing words and healing energy, and they help you come to your own conclusion. And it's weird because it's like you already know everything that this person is saying. It just takes you maybe a little bit of time to actually believe it and for it to sink into your bones. But in January, that's the journey that you're on. And that's the journey that you end up completing, is believing and knowing what you deserve. So this may be a woman for some of you, since we do have the image of a woman here. It could be a woman for some of you. It could be your partner. It could be your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Let's get one of these cards here. Okay, so we have... card that came out is clothed, the card presence, trigger statement, why did this happen to me, true statement, how did this happen for me. Know that you are the star of your life, yes, and you are the lead, and the audience is here for you again. Yeah, it's like you're gonna have an audience this month that regurgitates everything that you're feeling subconsciously, but on a physical level. And underneath the deck here, we have evolution, things will never change, trigger statement, but true statement, I attract only what is for my highest good. The imbalances in relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. It's exactly what's happening to you guys. It's exactly what's happening. Really beautiful transformation. And for your MC energy, your mid-heaven, let's check this out, because this is all about what your ultimate goal or desire is. And so this is the highest point of your chart. This rules the area of your chart that is referred to as regnum, which means kingdom. So it's all about your own personal kingdom, okay? And so we have here the Seven of Wands. So this area is all about what would make you look back on January and say, like, this was a successful month. So this is our aspirations and dreams. Here's that 7 energy again. Your biggest desire in January may center around ironing out conflicting feelings that you have. Yeah, especially with this 4 of Cups. You're ironing those out. Your thoughts won't conflict each other anymore. They won't challenge each other anymore. They won't oppose each other anymore. You may have felt as though at one point in your life, or for a majority of your life, like your own brain was against you. Your own thoughts were against you. Some of us can have such staggering, paralyzing thoughts and anxiety that it's like our thoughts literally come to life. It literally sounds like another person talking to us. And this can create serious internal challenges and internal conflicts, right? This is what you guys are ironing out in January, where your thoughts don't challenge you or combat you anymore, from the sense where it's like your own thoughts or your own brain is attacking you. This is incredible. A lot of it's coming from this evidence that's coming through to you on the physical sense, where it's like, going back to that example, maybe you always saw yourself as like unattractive, and moving into 2022, you're like, no, I'm not going to say that to myself anymore. And because of that, because you decide to do that, to think differently about yourself, to talk differently to yourself, it's going to manifest in other people, right? And so the 7 of Wands showing up as your MC is basically you, again, ironing out all those conflicting feelings, all those conflicting reasons to oppose yourself, because that's what Wands represents. It represents our motivations, our reasonings, the things that push us, the things that drive us. And so this is definitely you working out those conflicting reasonings you have, where some days it's like, you know, it's not your fault, and other days you wonder what you could have done differently. 7 of Wands is defensive, and I'm sensing that you want a better defense system when it comes to combating those feelings or those reasons that your brain used to give you of either taking responsibility for someone else's poor actions towards you, poor treatment towards you, or the poor treatment that you had towards yourself. Your thoughts, your anxiety used to give you reasons to dislike yourself. That's what you're ironing out in January. This is powerful, pile 4. This is a lesson that you're learning in January, and you come to accept it pretty easily. Like, I see you surrendering to this truth. Even though we have the 7 of Wands here, the card of fighting and defense, I see you exiting January in this energy where she's meditating calmly while being confronted with these reasons that used to always convince you not to like yourself, not to love yourself. That's not happening anymore. Camera, stop recording. Okay. The card that came out for you is Full Moon in Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. Yeah. You guys realize it now that this was a lot of how you felt about yourself came from this anxiety, came from a lot of insecurities. You're entering into this lucid reality state where you're taking control over your own reality. This is incredible. And then we have first quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation. That's exactly what you guys are doing. Let's see, let's get a final card here, final message for your month of January. Sorry, that was probably so loud. Okay, it says here, I have permission. This is interesting. I'm going to read this out of the book. And then underneath the deck for you, we have, I speak highly of myself. See? And it says here, safe, lovable, unique, beautiful, smart, free, worthy. I'm going to read both of these out of the deck for you. And I have permission. It says, when people change, they do not ask your permission. And this is a quote by Jennifer Pierre, I believe. It says, we are taught growing up to play by the rules. We must raise our hands in class to ask or answer a question. We must ask permission to use the restroom. We must ask our parents permission to go hang out with our friends. We grow up conditioned to always ask for permission. Ooh, this is a deep card for you. Because it was like I said, you're not getting permission anymore from this 7 of Swords energy or person or mindset where it's like, give me a reason to like myself. And they take advantage of the fact that you're open to their opinion of you and who you are. You're open to their definition of who you are. You're not doing that anymore. You're taking that permission back and you're saying, I don't need permission from you, or I don't need you to tell me who I am. Wow. Okay. And it says here, some of us grow up playing by the rules well into adulthood and continue to wait or expect someone to give us permission to do things that are now up to us. Some people are natural rebels and don't play by the rules, while others struggle breaking them. If it doesn't hurt anyone, give yourself permission to explore the possibilities of taking action. Give yourself approval. Practice makes perfect. That's what you guys are doing in January. It says the more we practice this, the better we will get. Explore something new. Do something for yourself you may have been feeling guilty or holding back from doing. Journal prompts. If you guys like to journal, then these are some questions that you can ask yourself or answer. And it says here, what do you not give yourself permission to do and why? How can you give yourself permission to do it? Why do you feel you need permission to do this? What has been holding you back? Description here says a woman is hesitating and waiting for someone to give her permission to do something she really wants to do. But how long is she willing to hold herself back? Keywords here are permission and action. Oh, I love that for you guys. And then we have, I speak highly of myself. And this card here says, do you use positive words when talking about yourself or talking to yourself? Do you ever call yourself stupid, fat, or ugly? Words have a lot of power as demonstrated. Damn, even just saying those words felt disgusting. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay, it says words have a lot of power as demonstrated by Masaru Emoto with the water experiments. Oh yeah, we were just talking about this on Patreon actually. Okay, and it says, and other people who tried similar experiments. It says words have power over our body and can affect our lives. What others used to call you or still call you does not define you in any way, like we talked about your whole reading. And it says here, if others labeled you or made fun of you, you do not have to accept those words as truth. which you're not doing anymore. Like I said, the spell got broken. It says, do you ever subconsciously use negative words to describe yourself when looking in the mirror or make a mistake? If it's hard to forget what someone called you in 5th grade, bring awareness to it. Erase those words and rewrite history. Find evidence why they are wrong. Try to use positive words when describing yourself or talking to yourself, even if you have a hard time believing it. Keep saying it until you believe it to be true. Perform a ritual where you acknowledge your body using positive words. Massage each body part while you say or describe each body part. Journal prompts here says, write down at least 10 positive words that describe you. What words do you want to avoid using when talking about yourself? Why do you think you use those words? The description says here, a woman's body is covered in words. She used to hear insulting words from others, or she used to say them to herself. She finally replaced them with words that are all powerful and uplifting. Keywords here are affirmations, positive words, and language. And pile 4, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys.